Japanese Language Communication Ability Test, JLCAT, is a computer-based Japanese language test that is operated by Association of Asia Educational Exchange. We have developed and held JLCAT to assess Japanese language skills of those whose mother tongue is not Japanese. As a Japanese language ability test, JLCAT has 4 brand new characteristics that innovatively improve your Japanese learning experiences. Let's have a look at them one by one. We repeat the process of recognition and expression in daily communications. JLCAT also assesses these 2 aspects of communication. Firstly, input learning consists of 2 skills, listening and reading. The first half is 60 minutes of listening tests, followed by 60 minutes of reading tests. That becomes 120 minutes in total. Secondly, output learning consists of 2 skills as well, speaking and writing. Output learning is a 70-minute test, 20 minutes of speaking tests and 50 minutes of writing tests. In total, JLCAT is comprised of 120 minutes input learning, 70 minutes output learning and 20 minutes break in between, making a 210-minute Japanese test. The second characteristic of JLCAT is that this computer-based test can be taken at home by making full use of information and communication technology. First, we utilize IRT, Item Response Theory, for input learning tests that allows us to provide different questions to each test taker, even if they are in the same session. JLCAT provides more difficult questions depending on how many questions a test taker gets right. He or she needs to answer more correctly in a certain amount of time. At the end of the test, how far the candidate proceeded in terms of assessment area determines their JLCAT score. In output learning test, the test takers are asked to speak into a microphone or to write using a keyboard. Questions are written or spoken formats, and just like real conversation, they need to understand and speak out their opinions or summarize what they hear and read. Test takers must meet the environment requirements before taking JLCAT. The third characteristic of JLCAT is that this test assesses test takers' ability by CEFA, the world's standard of language ability assessment. Ability assessments of foreign language speakers have been done around the world. Especially in Europe, as many countries are connected by land, the research on foreign language proficiency evaluation is particularly popular. In 2001, the Council of Europe announced frameworks of assessing foreign language speakers' proficiency. CEFA assesses their ability with 6 levels, and currently it is known as the world standard. JLCAT also confirms 2 concepts of CEFA and assesses basic language user with A1 and A2, independent language user with B1 and B2, proficient language user with C1 and C2. The fourth characteristic of JLCAT is the cheating prevention technology to realize taking tests at home. JLCAT requires test takers to submit their identity documents issued by their countries of residence and to register biometrics such as Face ID and Voice ID. To all JLCAT test takers, we issue digital JLCAT score reports. About a month after taking JLCAT, scores will be uploaded to My Page and the notification will be sent to registered email addresses at the same time. The uploaded scores can be downloaded from My Page, printed out, and used as qualifications of Japanese language ability. A unique QR code and watermark are on the score report. Partnered educational institutions or administrative bodies can confirm the scores on their systems by using the engraved watermark, thus the falsification of scores cannot be done.